There we go. Alright. Doing a little bit of multiverse action here. Since I'm live. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, that was spooky. Um, yeah, but no. Good morning, guys. Holy crap! It's too early to be awake right now, especially with like no sleep. I got to bed at like, jeez, midnight-ish. At first, and then for whatever reason, I got hit with some really weird, like super like hyper species level insomnia. There we go. I've got my beverage of choice in my thematic cup. I'll leave that there. And actually, while we're waiting, just because it's been a bit of a late start to the morning, I got some maintenance. Good morning, my babies. Good morning. And just to give me something to do, because I like having those on early. And what the heck, we'll just go ahead and I'll chill like this instead today. What do we think of that? At least for now. I mean, I got some really nice looking fish tanks. Might as well let them be hanging out, right? My phone is somewhere. There it is. I set it off to the side. Hi, Joe. Good morning. I know I woke you. Can I put you back to bed? I know it's very early and you're very cold. Go ahead, big guy. There we go. Doesn't want to be awake right now. He's also supposed to still be asleep. His thing is basically he's like a mirror for whatever I should be doing at any given moment. So if he's still sleeping, it's because I should have already either been in bed or still be in it. He don't like it, so I've got my stuff going here. I got my chat open, so if anyone wants to fiddle around, feel free to let me know. Today is a bad day to jump on stream. That's fine. It's gonna be one of those days. If I'm being super honest with you, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, so I'm probably not gonna be super full of energy. We have just over like 20-ish minutes, so I'm thinking I'll share some of my predictions now while I'm going ahead and linking this out to a couple of my buddies still here. But predictions that I think will happen. At least some acknowledgement of Pokemon Legends ZA. It's getting pretty close to coming out. I'd be very surprised if they didn't at least talk about it. But I've seen Pokemon Presents before where like a big feature game is supposed to get an announcement and it just doesn't come up. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if it just was not the main focus. If anything, I've seen a couple of rumors going around about the physical copies of some of the older games that might be a thing now. If that is the case, then I would think that they'd probably bring that up again, or officially, regardless. I think that that's going to be what's going on there. They might reveal a couple new megas, hopefully. That's my hope, at least. As far as which ones get it, I couldn't tell you. Seen a lot of predictions on it, but I don't have a hard and fast rule. I would like to see certain ones that would get like a mega. That would be pretty cool. I saw some people talking like Crobat maybe. That could be really awesome. Crobat's definitely. I mean, it's not like it hasn't gotten any attention, but it definitely could use a little bit of like new attention, I suppose. Because a mega evolution was something that it really could have benefited from like a million years ago, and it didn't. So, just make it more busted than it already was. I'm a little surprised they didn't do it for the Sinnoh remakes, but then again, I don't think they had Zubat. Did they? Did they had Crobat? Oh man, it's been like a million years since I played Legends Arceus. Let's see. As far as the starters go, I don't really have a preference one way or the other leaning on the water or the grass types. I've heard one offhand comment that it might be Scorbunny for the fire type, and I really want that to be true because I really like Scorbunny. I'm biased. I really am. As far as the other two go, I don't know. I think it'd be really weird if there were any of the Kalos starters because you would either have to have all of them or none of them. So I wouldn't be mad if they did all three of the original Kalos starters again, since technically the original Kalos games had 6 starters, so effectively you'd just be taking away the original Kanto starters, which, frankly, have already gotten a lot of attention in terms of like new forms and things like that. So they can leave them out for a while, I promise. Again, though, I wouldn't be mad to see them there. And then, no, for the water types, goodness. It'd be kind of neat to see Sobble again. I know it's too soon, and if they do Scorbunny, then they can't do Sobble. But I'm probably one of few, if I'm being honest. I can't help it. Look, outside of Rillaboom, I mean, Sword and Shield really did do a pretty fun, like, batch of final evolutions for Pokemon. They just did. I don't know how to tell you. But as far as the grass type goes, I mean, I'm a weirdo. I wouldn't mind seeing Turtwig again. I'm not gonna lie. They didn't use it in the old Legends game. It's not in the generation that they're building Legends ZA off of, so it definitely has reason to be there. I know it's not the most popular, but I would love to see that. It's not going to happen. Everyone is, I think, assuming it's going to be Snivy probably, or maybe even Trico, but I wouldn't be mad either way. I mean, Trico's already gotten a Mega Evolution is my thing, so I'm not really looking forward to seeing it again on a Mega, necessarily. Because they already did a pretty decent job on that last design. I don't know if they would want to double dip, necessarily, but they've already done that a few times, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did anyway. Pulling away from Legends ZA for a second, though, I would say I would want to see, like, some things I want to see that I know we probably won't, because they're not probably going to talk too much about games that might show up on the Switch 2 that can't also be played on the original console as well. I would like to see a Pokemon Ranger remake. I know it's kind of out of left field, but it has been picking up in traction a little bit lately, and I'd like to see something out of that, just because, I mean, like, if nothing else, more of like a nostalgia bit game, I guess, like a remaster, I suppose, where you can play it on the screen. And I know technically the Switch isn't known as like a touchscreen console, but like also there could be ways they can modify it where you can use the left joystick or something to that effect. It's not unheard of and it's not impossible, but they might be saving it as a feature for the Switch 2 if they do plan to do it at all. So I'll hold off on that, I suppose. They've already done DX for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the original Red and Blue games, and it's been a long time, and I would love to see something along the lines of like the new Mystery Dungeon for Time, Darkness, and Sky. That could be really fun. Um, I would be a little nervous if they'd redo it in the painted style, though. I mean, don't get me wrong, painted style was okay for like the red and blue games because it was very like it felt like a polished antique, I suppose. And at this point, red and blue are very far away. So the red and blue rescue team, I mean, I wouldn't mind that remaster for those games, but I already didn't like it when it came out. I'll be so honest. And I would just really I'd rather they don't for like if they do a remake for Mystery Dungeon. In that regard, I'd rather they did it more of like how they had some of the Wii console centric like games for Mystery Dungeon that they did, like DX and stuff. Or not DX, but you know what I mean. That would be interesting. Again, I don't think either of those two things is going to happen just because I just don't think the hype is there where it needs to be. I mean, it's definitely out, but I know Mystery Dungeon's picked up a lot. It's one of the things I'm grateful for is a lot of YouTubers. Jaden Animation specifically did a lot of gave a lot of attention to it in like the last year and a half or so. So like a lot of people have remembered it exists, and a lot of people have put it out, which is really cool. It definitely needed some extra love, frankly. The story's great. The pixel art's awesome. I would actually just kind of like to see them do pixel art games again, if I'm being honest with you, just because it's still technically an art form and a really good one, and they're not doing anything with it anymore, and I'm sad. I like my pixel art. Inevitabilities. Let's touch there. Alarm. Shoosh. It's like, oh, we noticed that you're not awake yet. It's like, I am now. Let's see. Inevitabilities. The Pokemon trading card game. We know that's getting talked about. Some kind of expansion pack or some sort of event, probably. Pokemon Go for the same reason. Since it is technically Year of the Eevee, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some huge raid event coming up for a shiny of some sort. That'd be likely. Maybe not for the shiny, but just in general for like, you know, getting something out there, or it's possible hype for the new games. I know they've been doing a lot with Unova in Pokemon Go. And this jumps back more into like things I wish I could see happen, but I don't think will. But I'd be pleasantly surprised if they did. Pokemon Black and White remakes, perhaps. That could be really cool. It's just a hunch, but like they've given a lot of very specific and direct attention to the Unova Pokemon in Go recently. And I don't think that that's necessarily an indicator that they did it so close to the Pokemon Presents day, but it's been popping up more and more lately in like the last week when it wasn't before. And the roster does tend to rotate out too, but like it seems like it's been amping up for the starters specifically. So like my hope is that it's a subtle nod to maybe something they've got down the pipeline. Again, I wouldn't be disappointed if that was years out yet, because they've already got a lot of things they're working on. I heard another YouTuber talking about potentially some new main series games that are separate from the ZA Legends remake, or not remake, the Legends ZA release. It doesn't sound like they're remakes this time though. It's gonna be something different. Technically it's not 100% verified, it's more of just like a leak, but you know, it's something to consider. And then I know it's not going to happen, but we're not getting a new Evolution this time, I don't think, as much as I would like to. It is Year of the Eevee. I would think that if we're going to get any sort of announcement on new Evolution, it's likely going to be later in the year, maybe towards the latter half, once we actually have definitive like gameplay for maybe some new main series games. Like whenever we get a duality game series, they always tend to do something different. I just feel like a new Evolution would be really weird in like a Legends EA game, because they haven't really done that for any others, like Pokemon before. They've given a few like regional variants, I suppose, but they haven't ever done like an entirely new evolution or like any kind of like new like Pokemon stage, I suppose, necessarily. At least not in like the hard and fast version, like rule of it, but I just I don't see it really being a thing. Um I want it to be, don't get me wrong, but like I don't want to get my hopes up and find out something weird's going on. Um I have to imagine though, as far as like the app and like Switch minigame circuit, there was probably going to be something along those lines, maybe like a new mini game for the Switch. That like they've had Pokemon Cafe. They might release an event Pokemon for Cafe. Now that I think about it, that could be. I could very easily see them doing that, trying to like fill it out. So, time will tell, but we'll figure it out. In the meantime, just gonna pop in and just double check on everything here, make sure that everything made it. Gotta clear all my daily notifications. Let's see. Yeah, the Pokemon trading card game, I do have to imagine I would see them making an announcement for a new pack for that. They might even use it to foreshadow the new games, though. There we go. Because they've always used another game or another feature as like a segue, like how they use Pokemon Sleep. To like introduce some concepts that they put into some of the more main series games later. And of course, Pokemon Go has always been very intricately connected into like future game installments and just in general, like how you can transfer Pokemon in and out, or an event that technically correlates with what a real life like game is going to do. Like as in like a physical copy versus on like a digital format, I suppose. As far as games other people have suspected might get pointed out, Pokemon Let's Go 2 for like the Johto games is another one I've seen circulating. And I wouldn't be disappointed if that was a thing. One of my buddies isn't quite awake yet. I don't even know who's actually... There's someone watching, and if it's just me, I think that would be really funny. But on the off chance that there is one other person that's not me watching it, sound off in the comments so that I know you're alive, because it could just be me in here, and that's fine. But, oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I got totally derailed. The Let's Go games. I did it. I managed to walk my way back. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be too disappointed if it was a Let's Go 2 release for the Switch 2 when it comes out, but I feel like that would be an announcement they would kind of save for that time. I don't think they would necessarily, like, what is it? I don't think they would really do that, like, for a device that they're going to kind of essentially be making irrelevant within a few years. I don't think they're going to get people's hopes up for a new game that's not even going to be touchable for a while. It's refilling. But, again, I wouldn't be disappointed, because of all the games that could receive some Let's Go treatment, I could definitely see them doing the Johto games. It'd actually be good for the Johto games, if I'm being honest with you, because the level curve is absolutely awful in the Johto games. And not to mention, too, it's just one of those games that's simultaneously very slow and very fast-paced all at once, which is great. So if they did that for Let's Go, that would actually be really neat. I could see them doing that with like Meryl as one of the starters, because and like maybe I don't know, Clefairy isn't exactly like Clefairy is not exactly a Gen 2 Pokemon. I have to remember what they would use for the other one, but you know, because they always release two. They don't ever release just the one. Um, and I can't see them in a Let's Go game doing just the starters. That feels a little weird, but they might. That would fix a lot of those issues because Let's Go's main feature is that you level up by catching stuff. So rather than having to fight a very limited amount of trainers and running out of options and like, you know, getting super far behind or getting too far ahead and just things like that, you could definitely just use the catch system to kind of level things out for yourself. And would give you some stuff to fill in because then you could do the completionist Pokedex thing. I have to imagine they would hopefully include, you know, the more modern Johto Pokedex as opposed to like the original where there's only like 20 Pokemon to choose from. That was not fun. Just give all the other ones some love too. That'd be really cool. Um, let's see. Oh, I just saw in the comments somebody's hoping for Mega Dracopult. Oh, oh no, I want that now too. That sounds awesome. I love Dracopult. It's one of my favorites actually. So is Magnemite. I'm really glad that it's been getting some love between like Magnezone and Sandy Shocks and things like that. But I don't see them doing anything with it for a ZA game necessarily. They could though. I mean, at least let it be there. I'll catch it. I will catch Magnemite if it's in Legends ZA. I have no issues with Magnemite just being in the game and not having like a fundamental role, but we are literally building an electrical grid for a Kalos game. I know there's electric Pokemon in Kalos, but it would just be really weird if they didn't have Magnemite. And I think the trailer, I can't remember if the original announcement trailer had something for Magnemite in it, or like Magneton, Magnezone, anything like that. I can't remember if they had one of the silhouettes in there, but if they do, I bet you $1,000,000 that that would be a Pokemon. Mega Magnezone would be really cool to see, actually. It's a Pokemon they haven't done a lot with in a very long time, and it's still relevant. A lot of people still use it. It's not like super rare to see people talk about it in game. I think that they could definitely do something with it. But I have to imagine the main attention is probably going to go to a lot of the Kalos Pokemon. Like Pyroar probably is going to get something. Go-Goat, I wouldn't be surprised if it got something. Let's see. I'm trying to think here. The Kalos legendaries are probably going to get some sort of new form, just like they did with Dialga and Palkia. I wouldn't have any reservations about saying that. I don't know if we're going to get announcements for the Megas yet, though. I mean, if we do, that'd be great. Don't get me wrong, but wouldn't mind seeing Mega Flygon, actually. I know they had an initial idea for it and they scrapped it, kind of like how they had Meteolution that they ended up scrapping at the beginning, but wouldn't mind seeing Flygon's Mega if they've managed to firm it out, because I know they had trouble with the design, getting it ready in time for the new games. I don't know if it was just a design issue because it was going to be limited by, like, I don't know, what's the word? Like, if it was going to be limited in terms of just, like, graphics, I guess. Like, if they had something that they wanted to do for a mechanic for it that they couldn't, because at the time that the Holland remakes came out, it was on a 3DS, and that was a little bit much. A lot of the Megas, it really seemed like anytime they, you know, came on screen, they really drew a lot of, like a lot of FPS, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had to scrap it for that reason. Give me a sec. I'm gonna shrink my little buddy here because I think he's gonna make this dwarf out a little bit. But yeah, no, I am super, super stoked to see what they've got in store. I mean, we only got a few minutes to go. So, in order to stay sane here, I'm gonna grab my emotional support Magnemite, and I'm gonna set him right. Whoops. Not right there, because that just threw my webcam into chaos. Where do you want to go? Set you right there. Now he's with me. Yeah, now this is a little nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie. I cannot wait. I know it's just in a few minutes. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead. This is premieres in 60 seconds. Oops. So I'm just gonna full screen it. And we'll catch up again in just a little bit. Got my escape button if I need it. Oh man. I'm nervous. I really hope that they don't biff it. I'll be so real. I hope for nothing stupid, but I can't imagine they'll be doing that to us. Shoot, I just realized, you know what? I want to bring my volume up just a little bit. There we go. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure I actually had good audio quality, because I don't know what sort of thing we'll be dealing with. Alright, 8 o'clock. Ouchie, ouchie, owie. It's a snazzy little tune, I like it. Alright. Okay, there we go. Gonna just had to adjust my volume a bit. Alright. Let's find out what they're doing to us this year. I forgot to think about the new Pokemon series too. They might talk about that. So cool.
Hello everyone, I'm Ishihara from the Pokemon Company. Today, February 27th, is Pokemon Day.
Yeah, buddy.
This is the date the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games were first released in Japan, marking the beginning of the Pokemon series.
Yeah, I forgot about Pokemon Green. They didn't even have Blue in
29
Japan, did they?
years since the birth of Pokemon,
I forgot why they didn't release it.
and we've reached this milestone through the support of all you trainers around the world. Thanks to all of you, it's now possible to enjoy Pokemon each day in a variety of ways.
So, like, what do they
We
got
hope
for their
to keep bringing you
designs
new
or their
experiences to
decorations?
brighten your day-to-day
I like
lives with
the
Pokemon.
middle row. They got like a nice little sliding scale of the games, and they got an order too.
All
That's
the
nice.
latest news about Pokemon,
Nope.
including our newest titles.
Okay, so there are going to be
Please
some new
enjoy
things.
the presentation.
Okay. What are we working with?
It's
Oh,
the Netflix series Pokemon Concierge.
okay.
Taking place at the Pokemon Resort on a tropical island, the story follows Haru, who is still finding her feet as a new concierge, and Psyduck as they grow together
I
through
didn't
their
actually ever end
interactions
up
with the resort's Pokemon
watching
guests.
Concierge.
Its charm
I
lies in the warm visuals that can be
I
achieved
don't know.
only through stop-motion animation.
I like the
And
stop
new
motion
episodes of Pokemon
quality.
Concierge are in production. They are slated for release in September 2025. What sort of Pokemon will Haru and Psyduck welcome as guests next?
I
Take
don't
a
know.
first look at a few of the Pokemon they will meet in this motion test footage. Just look at the personality and how they move. But there's more. For a limited time, the first 4 episodes are available to watch on Pokemon's official YouTube channel for free. Please take this chance to watch them if you haven't been able to tune in to Pokemon Concierge yet. And we hope you look forward to the new episodes as well.
I'll definitely have to watch it just to support the stop motion quality of it,
Hello, everyone.
because that's a really fun feature.
Next,
Nope.
we have a number of other announcements to share with you.
Let's see.
In Pokemon Go, Pokemon Go Tour
Okay.
Unova Global will take place on March 1st and March 2nd. This event can be
Okay.
enjoyed at no cost from anywhere in the world where Pokemon Go is available. During the event, the legendary Pokemon Black Kyurem and White Kyurem will appear in great battles and elsewhere. Also,
Neato,
trainers will
okay.
soon have a chance to encounter Victini and Shiny Meloetta.
Okay,
We'll
so
also
I
share
called at
promo
least
codes
2 of
for
these
everyone
things,
to
or at least
enjoy. We hope you're looking
halfway.
forward to the new season 2.
It's half right about the shiny in Pokemon Go and about Pokemon Black and White. Oh, wait a second. What are you doing? Oh, no. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. I was a little nervous there for a second. Oh, that's cute. That would be fun to make. Okay, so there's Pokemon Cafe. I do really like the look of that. That might be fun to make. It's like a recipe even, just in real life for fun. So yeah, we got a Pokemon Cafe announcement. I had a feeling that they were going to do something for that. So far I'm doing pretty good. Ooh. There's Pokemon Sleep, yeah. I just saw the little mini subtitles there. Oh, we're not gonna see... Oh, that's sick. Man, the animation for these ads gets better every year, especially when they try to integrate it into real life. Ooh, that'll be... I'm gonna have to catch both of those. I missed out on it, I think, last year. I think Darkrai was around. Oh, does he have a little outfit? Oh my god. Oh. Oh man, Alolan Raichu's awesome. That's an excellent choice for Unite. Hell yeah. That's sick. They all dressed up.
Remote Stadium will be returning to ranked matches. Enjoy intense battles in the
Oh, they don't have them wearing it
unforgettable
in game
Remote
though, so I'm
Stadium.
guessing that's
A
just a
new type
special
of battle
feature that
is
shows
also
up for
arriving, called
either the
First
ad
to 500.
today or just
In it,
for
the
when
new
it
feature
first
called
shows up,
Leo's
maybe.
technology allows you
That
to
makes
use
sense. It's a
special
lot to
events
animate
to
on a
score
small
certain
screen.
number of points. Plus, look forward to an updated map with updated wild Pokemon. The win condition is simple: be the first to score 500 points.
I'll try to keep commentary to a minimum. We can always like back up to. There we go. TGC. On ice. Okay, and that starts tomorrow. Okay. What are you doing? Oh, that's so cool. Holy shit. Oh, God of War? Yes! Oh my god. Oh man. Okay, that's actually pretty neat. Oh man, please tell me that's also in real life. That would be so cool. That's not just part of the trading card game,
Allow me to
please.
share some news about the Pokemon video
Okay.
game series. The Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet games were celebrating Pokemon Day with a Rotom phone case giveaway.
Okay. That's a book cover.
Along with a mass outbreak event and other in-game events to come.
Oh, cool, okay.
A mighty Meowscarada, Skeledirge, and Grepavol will appear in a series of Terra Raid battle events.
Okay.
And even more Pokemon are planned to appear in the future. We hope
Nice.
you
So the
continue to
pseudo
enjoy
legends then.
Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet games.
Well, that'll be fun.
Next, please have a look at this video.
Ooh. Oh. Oh my god, did I call it? God, this brings back some memories though. Holy crap. Wow, this is really well done, actually. What are you guys doing? Oh my goodness. Okay, I have a theory, but I don't want to get my hopes up. It's probably not the case. We've done this before. If they do a VR game, I'm gonna lose my mind. I know that's not it, but... Oh man. Oh, that's cool. It's cross-compatible. That's actually really neat. Okay. I mean, they've done games similar to that before, but that's still really cool.
What you've just seen is the world's first glimpse of a new title, Pokemon Champions. This title will be focused on the Pokemon battles you know and love from core Pokemon games. Pokemon Champions will continue the tradition of pitting your skills against those of other trainers from around the world, but this time we're aiming for these core-style battles to be enjoyed by more players than ever before. Game Freak, the developer of the core games, is carrying out the planning for this project, while development is being handled by the Pokemon Works.
Okay.
And Pokemon Champions will be coming not only to the Nintendo Switch family of systems, but to mobile devices too. You'll be able to choose how you want to play based on where you are. What's more,
Okay.
you can also connect with Pokemon Home. Thanks to this connectivity, you won't be limited to using Pokemon you can partner up with in Pokemon Champions. You'll be able to team up with Pokemon who joined you on your adventures in previous Pokemon games.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We hope you're looking forward to
Being able to
battling
connect with
trainers
Pokemon
from all
Home is
corners of the world.
huge.
Stay tuned for future announcements regarding the launch date of Pokemon Champions.
Oh, for a second I thought it was already over. I was like, no.
Next, we'd like to share some information about the languages Pokemon series games will be available. Mr. Tomás Cortijo, please take it away.
Okay.
Saludos a todos desde la nueva oficina de Pokémon en la hermosa hermosa ciudad de México. Soy
That's so
Tomás
cool.
Montijo, director regional para Latinoamérica de The Pokémon Company International. El día de hoy estoy muy feliz de anunciarles que Pokémon Champions estará disponible en español latinoamericano desde el día de su lanzamiento.
Oh, neat.
De
Okay.
igual forma, además de los 9 idiomas que los entrenadores y entrenadoras pueden elegir, Leyendas Pokémon ZA tendrá también la opción de jugarse en español latinoamericano. Esto significa
Good
que
deal.
de aquí en adelante habrá 10 idiomas disponibles para jugar. Finalmente, como ya anunciamos con anterioridad, las futuras expansiones del famoso juego de cartas coleccionables de Pokémon estarán también disponibles en español de Latinoamérica. Localizar productos como Leyendas Pokémon ZA al español latinoamericano permitirá que millones de nuevos fans se unan a la comunidad global de Pokémon y se conecten con otros jugadores de formas nunca antes vistas. Como parte
I'm surprised they
Pokémon Company
haven't done this
Group,
already.
este es un
If I'm being
claro
honest with you, I
ejemplo
thought
de
this was already
tradición
something that they were
unida al
doing.
mundo a través de Pokémon. Saber que los fans disfrutan aún más de jugar Pokémon en su idioma local nos permite explorar nuevas formas para deleitar a los jugadores de diferentes regiones y mercados como Latinoamérica. Este es un momento increíble para ser fan de Pokémon, sin importar en qué parte del mundo te encuentres, por lo que no puedo esperar para unirme a todos ustedes en sus próximas aventuras. Nos vemos pronto.
Alright, well, that's still really cool.
Here's the latest update on Pokemon Legends ZA.
Oh boy, here we go. Alright, what you got for us? Ooh, okay. Looks okay so far. Alright, so it's gonna be more Sword and Shield. I'm gonna shut up for now. Okay. So it's gonna be Chikorita, okay. Emmy's gonna be thrilled. She loves Chikorita so much. Go off. I like that hairstyle. Oh. Hey.
Pokemon Legends ZA is a new title in the Pokemon series. The story takes place in Lumiose City, the largest city in the Kalos region. Prism Tower stands tall at the center of this city with beautiful vistas. These days, Lumiose is undergoing a high-tech urban redevelopment plan to turn it into a city that people and Pokemon truly share. After you arrive in Lumiose City to see the sights, you'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner: Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile. You'll choose one of
Okay.
these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey as you get to know Lumiose City and its inhabitants.
Bit of a left
Here
field
are some
choice
of
for
the colorful
Tepe, but
characters
alright.
you'll encounter. When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new friend and ally, either Urbane or Tawny. The hotel where you'll be staying is run by AZ. You'll also meet his partner, Floette. Lumiose's redevelopment is being managed by Quasartico Inc. You'll become acquainted with the company's CEO Jet and her secretary Vinny.
He's
The
so
different people
tall.
you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer. To help people and Pokemon coexist, the city has set up wild zones. These areas, located throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive. To catch one of these wild
Okay.
Pokemon, aim carefully, then throw a Pokeball.
That's an aim
If you're
system.
having a hard time catching one, have one of your Pokemon use its moves to weaken the target, making it easier to catch. This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous titles. Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different areas of effect.
No.
So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand.
I didn't just see what I thought I did.
Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks. Swap Pokemon if you need to and find the right moment to unleash a move.
No,
What's
that's
more,
so
certain
cool.
Pokemon can go beyond evolution by
Okay.
undergoing Mega Evolution.
Yep. Anything new?
When a trainer's keystone resonates with the Mega Stone held by
Gosh,
the
dodging
Pokemon,
is so
the
cool.
Pokemon will do
Okay,
more
I
than
can't
just
talk
change
about it
shape.
though.
It'll unlock a new level of power, turning the tide of battle in its favor. As Lumiose continues its transformation into a city that belongs to both people and Pokemon, who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences will await you. Pokemon Legends CA, coming late 2025.
Late 2025 this year. Oh. What's up? Oh, you're just gonna check us in on that last minute?
Pokemon Legends CA is scheduled to release in late 2025.
So much to talk about.
We hope everybody can wait just a little longer for their adventures in Lumiose City to begin. That concludes our announcements for today. Thank you very much for watching.
I'm just truly making sure that they've finished, because it would be just like them to... Oh, man. Okay, I think it's actually done. Okay. Oh, good lord. Oh, man. I want to make sure that that's it. Okay. Whew. So, I was half right about a lot of stuff. I knew they were going to do something Unova-centric because they've been putting so much attention on it in Pokemon Go. Just didn't realize they were doing it in two different ways, both with the in-game events and also with Tepig, so being a starter? Oh my god, good lord. But, like, we need to focus on something very specific. Oh man. We gotta see this again. Okay, so first of all, an aim and capture system. This is really nice, actually. Oh man. Okay, so we got the graph, the map up. You get to see the full. I really like how they've got all this like transparency stuff. Oh, and you can see it in two different spots too for the rotation. At least this is for your experience gauge anyway. This is really cool. I like the idea of wild areas inside the city. That's actually really cool. But I gotta come back to this. I mean, everyone's gonna talk about it first. I just know they will be, but like, I need to know. That's really cool. Okay, the fact that they're gonna introduce a dodging system and you get to be responsible for how it works. This is great. This is awesome. They need to keep doing this. Like, oh man, oh man, oh man. That's okay. I was on the fence. I'll be real. I'm not a big fan of the character designs. I'm not a big fan that they did in the Scarlet and Violet art style. There's a lot of little bits and pieces here. The texturization is throwing me for a loop. I don't like it. Like this door, it looks like it's been photoshopped in rather than like part of the actual like scene, I guess. Like you could see, like it's hard to describe. It's probably just because of the motion of the game right now, but if that's gonna make the entire gameplay experience look that way, because they already kind of guss it up a little bit for the trailers. Like they say that they're, it's like test gameplay footage and all that stuff, but like if this is what it's gonna look like, I'm a little bit nervous. No new Mega announcements, and of course I was right on the Evolution. They're not announcing anything for that either, which is fine, because it would have felt really weird if they'd announced it for not like a non-main series title in terms of like the Duality games, because they usually only do that for like the two main series games. They had me for a second. I thought for just the tiniest bit when they were going through, where was it at? Gotta scroll back a little bit here. Here, like this little like chunk of trailer stuff. I thought when they were going through all the different generations, for a second, I thought they were gonna announce the physical copies, the remakes of some of the older gen games, is sort of like a thank you for everything, kind of like here's some extra stuff. And then once it started becoming a little bit more apparent, they were like putting the details more to like real life people, but like in a submersive zone. Like it was getting more and more futuristic. There was about maybe 30 seconds before they, like, I didn't notice the gameplay footage here, or the not gameplay footage, I should say. I thought for a second that they were going to make this VR. Like, I thought it was going to be something where you could connect to a VR headset, because the Switch 2 was coming out, and I thought maybe there was, like, a secret feature that they were going to announce, like, last minute. It wasn't even on my radar, which, thankfully, it didn't need to be, but, I thought maybe they were going to introduce the concept of VR instead. That would have been really cool, but I can understand why they're not doing that yet, because they can't even get their Switch games to look normal, so, well, at least super normal. Got it out, my soda. My goodness. Okay. No, but Pokemon Champions, it's interesting. I'll give them that. I'm not sure how I feel about it in that sense, but like also, this almost got tears out of me. I mean, this. Oh darn it! No, go back. Oh man. Oh, you gotta be able to pause it at just the right moment. Come on, man. That looks so cool. If this is... I mean, they have a way to go. It says shonen footage are under development, which means they're not out yet. But Mega Brave and Aura Jab, that's cool. Because oh my god, I didn't even notice the power on that. That is insane. Oh my goodness. If these are physical cards that you can collect, and they're not just for the TCG, which I don't think they are. I don't think so anyway. It just specifies that it's coming. They didn't specify if that was exclusive to the app or if it's for like IRL stuff too. I hope so. I think that was the implication. It doesn't specify, just says that it's made by the trading card company, so to me that would indicate, since they didn't specify it but it came right after the app or the announcement for the trading card game finished, that they're intending for it to be vague on purpose, which to me would make me think that they're going to release it on physical stances as well. So and then yeah, let's see. And the new trading card packs, those are coming out tomorrow for the app anyway. That's always really cool. What do they call it? I actually have, so fun fact, I have this card like for real. The oldest possible version of it, I suppose. It still has like EX and ADVD font. It's really fun. Triumphant Light. Okay, it makes sense that they went Arceus, whichever it is. Because they had Diamond and Pearl and Mew. So those box art legends, and then, yeah, it would have been really weird if they didn't. But that means their next booster pack is probably going to be Giratina associated, right? Because they've already done the 3 main godlike Pokemon from Gen 4. So then I would think that Giratina's got a spotlight coming pretty soon. Let's see. Special booster packs. Guaranteed. Okay, cool. So then, yeah, no, anytime between today and today the 27th? Yeah. So then, anytime between now and the end of the weekend, it sounds like you can get a guaranteed high rarity card, which would be really cool. So definitely go check that out. And then what are... Starting tomorrow, missions for special rewards. That must be an auto reboost, right? Or a rewind? That's a rewind, right? Yeah, okay. That's specifically for those 2. Okay. Ranked matches. Yeah, that seems to me like that's going to be physical. And then we had other stuff. So I was kind of half right where they were going to touch on the older games. I don't mind this, though. I think this is kind of fun. For Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, book cover. Let's see the case. It must be, yeah, okay. So yeah, that's fun. Some nice cosmetic. It's the book, it looks like, from the story that you're playing through, whichever one that is. So that's kind of cool. I think this is a little bit oversaturated of a purple. I think maybe that might just be the lighting not doing it any favors, but it's still really neat. I like the red, I think, personally, in terms of like showing off the border of the book cover. This is still really cool, though. Just maybe needs a little more exploration in-game. Mass Outbreaks, and this is tomorrow, so I guess I know what we're playing, you guys. Shiny Pokemon. Okay. Latest update data, latest Pokeportal news. You can check latest by sending X menu, mystery gift, checking the news. Okay. So this will be fun to dive through. I like the idea of shiny Applin. That's really cool. And of course Lapras and Scyther. I'm not... Shiny Ceruledge, I can't even remember what that looks like. Here, let's actually take a look at this one, so we got time. Do I dare? Okay. They don't look all that different. I'm doing a lot of back and forth. I just want to know. Yeah, okay. So it's a green apple. It's still cute. It's just a little anticlimactic. So they didn't necessarily pick the most obvious shinies then. I know Porygon turns purple. Where's Smoliv? I'm just doing the final stage. Turns into a black olive. I think I prefer what this person did. Because the actual shiny design is kind of... yeah. It's not terrible. It's just a little underwhelming, maybe. Okay. But still, it'll be fun to catch some shinies just to fill out the decks. So since they'll be more common, that'll make it way easier. And then, let's see here. So tomorrow, the 7th and the 14th. So that's every week. Okay, yeah, and they line up basically 1 for 1 with each other too. So like, this one's coming out tomorrow on Friday, and you have until like basically midnight the following Thursday, because then the very next day it's going to be that. Only caught once per save data. Mm-hmm. And you can still, okay, yeah, so you can still like go into raid battles and stuff. Yeah, and so you still have to do all the updates. Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm a big fan of Meowscarada and Quaquaval. I'm not a huge fan of Skeledirge. I'll be so real. Like, it's the one time they didn't make it stand up, and they also just made it look ridiculous. I don't know how to feel about that. Kind of interested to see if they do anything special for the 3 starters in the new ZA game, in terms of, like, if they make regional variants that make any of them stand up or sit down. I'm excited over here. See, this is my guy right here, Dracopult. Like, everyone likes Garchomp. I like Dracopult. It's a peak design. It's really cool. Like, look at him. That's badass. That's neat, though. And then it doesn't say when, so... Pardon me. Yeah, champions... This is kind of neat. So I wonder exactly what level of play style this is going to be, because evidently it's not a main series game, so it's not going to be super high intensity like Scarlet and Violet is with like the rendering, which is I'm sure why it's mobile friendly necessarily. But at the same time, it's really interesting to see that they're going to partner the games more like more directly, I guess, where you can literally play with each other. I mean, cross-platform games aren't anything new, but doing anything Pokemon from mobile to Switch, like, that'd be like if they suddenly announced Pokemon Go is on the Switch too, and then you could play it with other people that way. God, if they made the Switch 2 like data compatible, that would surely be something. I'll touch on this real quick because it doesn't necessarily pertain to me specifically, but I do like that they're expanding their language options for the Pokemon games. Gotta admit, it feels really weird they didn't already have this particular language as an option. I could have sworn I saw it when I was on the main menu of the Scarlet and Violet games. But yeah, no. I want to dive back in on here for a second. This is... Oh, man. Look, I do not like the character models. Good morning. Good morning. No, you want to talk about them, too. Joey has entered the chat. Oh, you're going to spin my chair. Please, you're not that strong. You going to get up here? You want to get up on my lap? You want to hang out? Do you want me to bury you? You want me to bury you? Here. He says I got up for 3 seconds, and then I want to go back to bed, please. Yeah, no, I mean, oh man, I have to hope it's customizable, because that would at least tell me that the devs are just bad at picking the clothes. I think it's because they don't look like clothes, I guess. It looks shiny. You know what I mean? Like, this feels like a GameCube-esque environment to me. It's simultaneously, like, very plastic looking and very, like, three-dimensional, which is not a good combo necessarily. I'm not trying to be overly critical right away because there's a lot that's really cool that I'm looking forward to. I mean, case in point, let's bounce back really quick here. Where was the starters? Gotta jump ahead a little here. Oh man. Just want to get them all on the screen quick because the picks are nothing that anybody was guessing, which, to be fair, I think is kind of the point because they probably want to bring some light to some more, not necessarily obscure Pokemon, but just Pokemon that haven't really been talked about a whole lot in recent times. I was actually planning on using a Chikorita in a solo run. That might be what I do for the new games. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so Totodile doesn't surprise me. It's like one pretty strong contender in terms of fan favorites. I do like that they're touching on Tepig. I'm not gonna lie, like, so Snivy's the last one in the Unova line now that they're gonna use. And they've done one for each of the ZA games. So that would mean, at least to me, that they're gonna use it for a potential new Legends ZA game somewhere in the next 3 to 5 years, probably, to fill out the grass type. And then they did 2 Johto Pokemon. It surprises me that Cyndaquil isn't here, since they got 2 for 3, but because, like, oh man, no, I get it. They're probably selecting, because the last 3 were like top picks, I suppose, and these are probably like the least picked of each of their respective regions necessarily, or at least ones that are more, like, not least picked because obviously Chikorita's here for the Johto Pokemon, but I have to imagine, like, at least with Totodile in mind, it's more just like what's been the most relevant lately. I do like the environment though. Not in the sense of like we gotta talk about this grass movement here. This is pretty nice. They're getting there. I think it's more just, that's really cool. Like, you can get up on the roof. Yeah, here we go. I wanted to see this again. That's really, really cool. The fact that you can, like, jump roofs. I hope that's an actual feature that you can unlock on the Rotom phone, because that would be really cool. I love that character design so much. Back it up. I am a little disappointed, mainly just because I thought maybe this was a new feature that the player character could unlock in terms of like hair color and design, which does beg the question. The ZA games haven't ever been super customizable necessarily. There's like some very distinct limitations that you have, so it doesn't necessarily surprise me, but at the same time, I hope that kind of hairstyle is something that you can customize yourself. Yeah, and of course Mega Evolution is back, which is really cool. A ZA game was a perfect pick for this, just because it's a Legends game, which means that they don't necessarily have to bring it back for the full main series. They don't have to put too much exhaustive effort into it. It does make me wonder just a little bit if they're actually going to bother with new Mega Evolutions or not. I have to imagine so. At the very least, the main 3 that are selected are also 3 Pokemon that have never gotten Mega Evolutions before. So I would love to see Mega Meganium. I think that would be really cool. Mega Feraligatr, I have to imagine a lot of people are going to end up liking. Emboar, I almost wonder if they're going to touch on kind of like the Swampert, the Mega Swampert line in terms of, like, design, I guess, leaning very, like, bulky, or if they're gonna, maybe its Mega stands on 4 legs, we don't know. But I also think it's worth mentioning, too, that they got Zygarde in here, and they showed him off 3 separate times. It's like a blink and you miss it moment, so I don't know if I'll be able to grab it if I were to rewind it, but where is, so we got Um, just gotta bring up the tallest man in the universe for a second. The new Pokemon Center is kind of cool. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see. Right here. First things first. Absolutely like this character design. I don't know if maybe the rendering is just a little bit cleaner here because it's more of like cutscene style rather than like gameplay style, I guess. I also just think that it tends to lean on softer colored edges for the design that they selected too, so that's probably helping take away from some of the sharper aspects of it. But it's really solid. Both designs have a good bit of design to it. And then yeah, AZ, look at how tall. I keep forgetting every time I see this dude how tall he actually is. Wait a second, no. Bring him back. Yeah, look at how absolutely monstrously tall this dude is. So this makes me wonder if it's modern or if it's futuristic. Some of the stuff rings very futuristic and some of it rings very modern. Here, give me 1 second. Jojo Stinky, you wanna go potty? Give me with a dog. Bum me. Alright, I'm back. But yeah, like, I keep forgetting every time how tall AZ is. I like his little special floette, though, so this has gotta be after. Because they're reunited. There's no way they'd have that much technology before the war. So he's done okay for himself. But why does it feel like Lumio City has taken like a... I don't know. Like, I don't know. The design feels of the city feels simultaneously like it's taken 1 step forward and yet also 15 steps backwards. Couldn't explain why. I don't know. Because it feels very much like they're trying to like pull from character designs that are inspired by like much earlier time periods, but they're trying to set it in a universe after the main X and Y games. It feels very unusual. I mean, I know it's probably also just trendy, but like, I'm very curious. Because, yeah, AZ is like from like 1 billion years ago. So he wouldn't be that out in the open and dressed that modern otherwise. This is still really cool. I am very excited to see how this works. Because they do say it's about precision and timing. So I wonder if there's a mechanic to it that's not on screen that means that you specifically have to like do something prior to dodging that your Pokemon has to like follow through on, or if you could just run around and do it. Because it doesn't show. I hope so. That'd be really cool if you could just run around and like have them follow you. Because it doesn't show off a button or like some kind of game option that says like dodge or something like that. So I have to assume that they're coded to follow you through a certain range, and then after that you have to like probably give them some outside influence if you're any closer. That feels about right. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be... I think that alone is what I'm looking forward to the most. I'm very lukewarm about the actual gameplay outside of it. I don't like Scarlet and Violet was cool because it was technically like the biggest open world map that we've ever had. Like, technically Sword and Shield dipped their toes in the water with the wild area. And then Scarlet and Violet, it was super, super buggy, but then it also had a bunch of, like, you know, other features. And, like, you could go anywhere at any given point in time, with the exception of just some very large level gaps to, like, have to overcome if you skipped a step or whatever. But at the same time, I don't know how to feel about the fact that they're using the Scarlet and Violet gameplay style in terms of, like, how the sprites look, and the environment is... It is still, like, Legends Arceus for sure. It's not entirely removed, but... I don't know. It's a little bit of both, yeah. I know it's a Legends game, but it still feels very, like... I don't know. I think if they were to, like, patch the bugs from Scarlet and Violet... Also, are we just going to pretend that we don't see the crest? I saw it, Game Freak. Yeah, I don't know. If they got rid of the bugs from Scarlet and Violet and managed to make those not a reality in this game, I think that would set it above it just a little bit for that reason. But, like, I am still skeptical because the computer can barely even hold this render for these games, which I guess to me would make me wonder what the actual gameplay on the Switch would be. So, it's very clean though, for, like, the catch systems. I like the idea of the wild areas. I know I've already said that, but, like, I think that's just really cool, especially because it's inner city too. It feels almost kind of like post-apocalyptic. I know it's not, because it's, like, part of their, like, progression system where they're like, oh yeah, no, we're doing this on purpose, but, like, it feels very, like, early days, like, Fallout, almost. But that's kind of cool. Oh, man. Oh, the adrenaline's kind of dying down a bit for me. Enough on that. I'm looking forward to trying this out. Oh, yeah. Admittedly, this made me a bit nervous when I first saw this little portion. I thought for half a second that they were about to give us Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remakes, and I was about to have words because we've already done this. But thankfully, it's just a really cool trailer for the Masters EX game, which I can live with. Wait a sec, I missed something. Hold up. Yeah, they're shinies. Oh my god, that's cool. I mean, they were already really cool. I like how all three of the shinies are black and yellow. They planned this really well. That's super cool. Okay. I don't personally play that particular game, but this actually looks doable. Yeah. Gotta get my notebook. Because I kind of want to make this. Since we are getting closer to the games, I want to start doing some more themed things. There we go. That'll be fun to dive into. Whoops. Actually, bonked my webcam. My bad. Yeah, they're gonna have it pop up in there. So that's cool. There must be some kind of foam. Some kind of foam there. I don't think it's ice, because that's the apple pie. And then, of course, the sweets outfit. Okay, I already have an idea for that. That might be something I make in the future. When I do, I'll definitely post a video about it. Especially once we start getting more announcements as well. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of Pokemon Cafe lately. I probably should do that at some point. And of course, the Pokemon Sleep event. I could have sworn that they already had Darkrai and Cresselia show up. But I guess I'm wrong. Could have been. Could have been. This is also really cool for Pokemon Unite. I can see why they didn't put this outfit into the actual gameplay, or maybe they just didn't show it in this footage. But a bit of an odd choice for Alcremie to be in there, but I can see why they did Alolan Raichu, because that one's really working its way through on being a fan favorite in terms of like combat, so that makes sense. As well as maybe with Alcremie, they're maybe, I mean, it's still technically strong, but I have to imagine they're probably trying to reel in some more of like players who prefer some of the more floaty Pokemon, I suppose. Or just kind of give people who are like already playing, that have maybe been playing more of like the brawler visually looking Pokemon, you know, something new to work with that doesn't look like it's battle hardy for war kind of thing. Because I do think it's really funny that they've got Alcremie in like a massive combat centric game. I just think that's really fun. It's kind of like having the, you know, like, it's like Tinkaton. Like, it's really funny in the sense that it's like an itty bitty little Pokemon that's probably just gonna be able to absolutely wage war. I really want to see what that entails. And that's, I think that's just for the stadium itself. I don't think, okay. And I want to say that's all of it. Let's see here. Oh, you know, Pokemon Concierge. Okay, so truthfully, I haven't seen anything from Concierge. And I probably should. I didn't realize it was stop motion animated. That is really cool. The plot itself was just a bit iffy for me. I was a little unsure about it. But I do very much like the art style that comes with stop motion, and I do think that's definitely worth putting a lot of focus on, because nowadays, like, 3D animation and just people trying to like kind of skimp it out a little bit and like do digital animation only without like 2D stuff or like stop motion, things like that, I really do like that they're putting more forward effort into like making stuff like this even still, even if it's technically made with computer graphics in mind or whatever. But it's still really cool that they're doing that. So I might watch that and provide some coverage there. And then of course I was technically half right on the Unova stuff, but I kind of had it a little backwards. So not remake focused, but they were preambling for a Unova event. So that makes sense. And I was right about the shiny too, just about the wrong one. That's all right though. I don't mind being wrong about something like that, because it's still a shiny regardless. What was it? Shiny Meloetta, right? Yeah, it was shiny Meloetta. Let's see. We got Unite, trading card, all the events, champions, the new language mods, and the ZA gameplay. Yeah, that kind of covers all of it. I still didn't see any evidence of Magnemite in there. Oh yeah, one last little thing. Yeah, no, you come back here. Yeah, right here. See, I knew they were going to pull something like this at the end. That's why I waited around for so long. That's cool. I know it's important, but I'll be so real. I definitely missed it. I don't quite know. Let me take a look at the comments and see if chat is disabled. Oh, probably so they don't flood the. Let's see here. Any of the comments? Oh, that's right, because they already did Cynical. Duh. They did Cynical and Legends Arceus. No wonder they didn't do it for this one. That's why because it was the only one left. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a lot of people making jokes and stuff. I'm not going to be able to find that out. I'll have to do some research in the background and then tap base on it later, but that's alright. Still very cool in its own right. I imagine, too, if I don't manage to get a hold of what it is before that game starts, then I'll be able to find out in-game, too. I don't mind finding out later anyway. So I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people somewhere down the line that'll be like screaming at me like, oh my god, how did you not know what this was? I'm like, because I'm dumb. I'm very dumb. Alright. Well, they're very cool. I'm gonna call it here, guys, because we are about as maxed out as one can be. But yeah, thanks for getting up early with me and checking this out. Hopefully you liked my new effects that I've included as well. You'll start seeing a little bit more of that. I'm going to try and make little borders and fun things and just do some gameplay too. And just kind of try to have more fun, I suppose. You might see some live streaming tonight. I'm going to be putting up content. We're going to be doing some of our black and white playthrough, a couple of my friends and I. We might be doing that tonight, so if we do, then I'll be posting that. And then a little bit last minute, I'll tag it on at the end here, because I'm going to make a proper announcement video for it, like at another day and time. I want to get some stuff worked out, but I'm going to be doing a charity live stream. Gonna try to get the word out as much as I can. If anyone else has any interest in promoting it, I will do my best to link the video in the description of this one, so that it can be easily shared around. Gonna post all of the finer details, but it's gonna be a hydration stream, so if anyone has any interest in watching me torture myself by drinking way too much water and seeing how long I go, because the general gist is that I want to see if I can make it through like an entire day's worth of a stream without a stream, if you get the pun. So we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of stipulations on if I screw things up, I have to take a drink of water, things like that. So we'll see kind of where that lands. But yeah, more details to come, and I will catch up with you guys later. Thank you so much for getting up with me and doing this.